My name is Harry, I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
And it is my great honor to have Joe's endorsement in this race.
You sure do.
And it is my intention to go out and earn this nomination and to win. So in the days and weeks ahead, I, together with you, will do everything in my power to unite our Democratic Party, to unite our nation, and to win this election. You know, as many of you know, before I was elected as Vice President, before I was elected as United States Senator, I was the elected Attorney General, as I've mentioned, of California, and before that I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. And in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his. As a young prosecutor, when I was in the Alameda County District Attorney's Office in California, I specialized in cases involving sexual abuse. Donald Trump was found liable by a jury for committing sexual abuse. As Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges and put it out of business. Donald Trump ran a for-profit college, Trump University, that was forced to pay $25 million to the students it scammed. As district attorney, to go after polluters, I created one of the first environmental justice units in our nation. Donald Trump stood in Mar-a-Lago and told big oil lobbyists he would do their bidding for a $1 billion campaign contribution. During the foreclosure crisis, I took on the big Wall Street banks and won $20 billion for California families, holding those banks accountable for fraud. Donald Trump was just found guilty of 34 counts of fraud. But make no mistake, all of that being said, this campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump. There is more to this campaign than that. Our campaign has always been about two different versions of what we see as the future of our country, two different visions for the future of our country. One focused on the future, the other focused on the past. Donald Trump wants to take our country backward to a time before many of our fellow Americans had full freedoms and rights. But we believe in a brighter future that makes room for all Americans. We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead. We believe in a future where no child has to grow up in poverty, where every person can buy a home, start a family, and build wealth, and where every person has access to paid family leave and affordable child care. That's the future we see. Together we fight to build a nation where every person has affordable health care, where every worker is paid fairly, and where every senior can retire with dignity. All of this is to say, building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. Because we here know when our middle class is strong, America is strong. And we know that's not the future Donald Trump is fighting for. He and his extreme Project 2025 will weaken the middle class and bring us backward. Please do note that. Back to the failed, trickle-down policies that gave huge tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations and made working families pay the cost. Back to policies that put Social Security and Medicare on the chopping block. Back to policies that treat health care as only a privilege for the wealthy instead of what we all know it should be, which is a right for every American. America has tried these economic policies before. They do not lead to prosperity. They lead to inequity and economic injustice. And we are not going back. We are not going back. Our fight for the future is also a fight for freedom. Generations of Americans before us have led the fight for freedom, from our founders to our framers, to the abolitionists and the suffragettes, to the freedom riders and farm workers. And now I say, team, the baton is in our hands. We who believe in the sacred freedom to vote. We who are committed to fight to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. We who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence. And that's why we will work to pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban. We who will fight for reproductive freedom, knowing if Trump gets the chance, he will sign a national abortion ban to outlaw abortion in every single state, but we are not going to let that happen. It is this team here that is going to help in this November to elect a majority of members of the United States Congress who agree the government should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. And when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms, as President of the United States, I will sign it into law.
We the people.
Indeed, we the people. So ultimately, to all the friends here, I say, in this election, we know we each face a question: what kind of country do we want to live in? A country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law? Yes! Or a country of chaos, fear, and hate? You all are here because you as leaders know we each, including our neighbors and our friends and our family, we each as Americans have the power to answer that question. That's the beauty of it, the power of the people. We each have the ability to answer that question. So in the next 106 days, we have work to do. We have doors to knock on. We have people to talk to. We have phone calls to make. And we have an election to win. So, are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we willing to fight for it? And when we fight, we win.
Today is November 14, 2024. It is 12:44 a.m. I was just looking at some of the videos that I've already made public, and some of them for my members, and for some reason they are not being seen. I'm looking at views 0, but this one already have views for my members So something is off. And other videos that already made public, the views are very low, very, very low. But I read a lot of the comments underneath it. So how could something is completely off? Yeah, very low. Everything is very low. Something is not right with my channel. Very low. Very, very low. Let's look at the previous. Yeah. Very, very low. So if you guys, I know some of you have said that my videos are late. They're not current, so I'm trying to make videos as current as possible, but you're still not watching them, so I don't know what's going on. All right, so let's look at by the way, my members, there are 2 videos I really want your input. Those 2 videos, you guys have not watched it. Both of them have 0 on them. There's this one, 269, season 4, episode 269, and season 4, episode 271. These 2 videos, they're somewhat related. I really want your input. Depend on what you say, then I'll make everybody else see it, because I wanted to keep your input first. Okay, my members. So far, nobody have watched it. So I don't know what's going on. You guys usually see all of my videos the moment I made them public. The moment I upload them, because I always give the choice for you guys to see it right away. But now I'm making it more, for everybody else to see it a little bit more recent. But they somewhat relate to tweet, but not really. So you guys let me know what you think. So go look at some of these videos, my members, before I make it public for everybody else. Okay, so there's this here. 4,446 subscribers, new subscribers welcome. Estimate revenue $114.16. Analytics must be very low. 842 views in the last 48 hours. So before, I don't have anything special to share with you. Maybe on the second video I'll go on my tweets and see what I've liked throughout the day, because the majority of the thing that I was seeing was things about the Archbishop of Canterbury who resigned, and we sort of already know the situation with it. If you go watch, there's a video that I did when the Queen was alive, and the Queen was trying to put Andrew back in the public's face, and the priest, the Archbishop, came out trying to make, give excuse for Andrew. Pretty much whatever I said in that video implies here right now. Okay, so we sort of known that he was pretty much, they all on the same boat. But I'll go on my tweet on the second video to go over some of the things that I like over during the day. I didn't really post too much. But what I want to focus on is these 4 videos. At the beginning of this video, I will be sharing with you a video of Kamala Harris when she first came into the campaign trail, explaining how she planned on moving forward. And the key thing that I want you to think about is where she said, I know that, do I still have it open? Let me pause and see. I don't want to waste time looking for it because I already have the video. I'll just insert the part where I want you guys to listen.
Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Because I have a feeling, this is not to say I'm predicting anything or I assume this is what they're doing. This is just my opinion. It's not a fact, okay? It's just my opinion. Because I feel like they are aware of Donald Trump's tactic. So during the campaign trail, the very first, I don't know if it was her first speech, I don't know. But in that particular speech where she said, I know what Donald Trump's like. So therefore, I think they were preparing to see if Trump will follow through. whatever it is, because there's an article I read in one of my videos where it was December 20 back in 23, where they alerted authorities that our voting machine have been breached. So I assume all governmental people were in place to just watch and see if things will be happening. And there are some there's a tweet and there's a video. Let's go into it. I'm not gonna play it. I'll put the link of that video in the description. You guys could go and watch it. But what I want to focus on is my comment, and I was able to see it. So 4 people so far like it, because at the beginning she started her video very frustrated to see how people give up, Kamala Harris conceded very quickly, and nobody's talking about some of the thing that's happening. This is where I focus my response on. Okay, it was at the beginning only a response to. The rest, later when I listened to the video while I was at the gym, but when I was at my computer, I was listening the first 2-3 minutes of it. She was very upset. Okay, so this is where my comment is. As much as I feel the host's sentiment and frustration, but we have to look at the big picture. Biden-Harris administration has a very, very short limited of time to put law and order. It is best to play along, to watch the enemies within go to work. Trump wanted to play with the big boys, so let him play while he can. Just watch and see. Pretty much prepare for impact, all of us. So what I mean is that they probably were aware that Trump will be doing certain things. So they were waiting and watching to see how they were. In other words, they were gathering evidence, because so many things to say. In my humble opinion, I think once Biden stepped aside, decided not to run, this is where he will focus his attention on watching to see how the election will be stealing. Probably everything else will be on Biden here. But for Kamala, Joe probably just let her know, just do your campaign, forget about everything else. For the trap, I don't think it's a trap. They're just watching to see if he's gonna steal the election. So they just let Kamala does her thing. Meanwhile, FBI, all law enforcement people were watching. And then once it happened, guess what? If Kamala already know the election was stolen, we've seen a lot of evidence of many other things. Once the election was literally interfered, in my humble opinion, is an act of war. Because this is our fundamental value that has been attacked. Okay? Because these people have people in many places. The same way that I say about the UK. They have people in all of their bases to cover for them. So I believe they unleash a lot of investigators to go watch. To go watch and monitor. Probably be part of the people who were volunteering to see if things were happening. I don't know. I'm just saying. So now Biden wants to keep that burden to himself. And that's why he stepped out to allow Kamala does her thing. So now after the election, knowing that it was allegedly interfered with, so Joe Biden probably told her, yes, it did happen. So instead of fighting the momentum, so now they want to see the other players. Who are the key players who were part of the issues, who were part of the interference? And many of them already talking, like the big boss. They are big boss in town. Disrespecting people in Congress. Okay, they're already showing themselves. So instead of Kamala saying, oh, there was interference here, interference there, because people are not gonna believe it, because they are fighting with information. We need to understand that, because the mouthpieces of the world, the things that Harry and Meghan ran away from, saying the media is a powerful force.
Family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. I was born into this life, and it is a great honor to serve my country and the Queen. When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us.
This is what is happening here. The US government is fighting with the media, those people who's controlling, making people vote against their best interests. This is what they're fighting with. So instead of Kamala saying, oh, this happened here, this happened there, instead, they're gathering evidence, because many of these people will not believe anything. So if Kamala is saying, there were this happening here, voting booth was interfered here, because I'm hearing there are ballots that they found somewhere in bushes and thrown away and all of that. So we cannot, there's no way she can go and fight, saying, the same thing that Trump did, or what was his things when he lost in 2020, whatever rhetoric he was running his mouth in. So Kamala cannot do the same thing. So the best thing to do is consider quietly, quickly, because they have limited of time, like I said in the comment. They have limited of time to prove their case to the public. Someone is up. But anyway, I had to pause for a while. I forgot where I was. And I think I was talking about where Kamala cannot go and fight with them, saying it was interference and all of that. The same kind of rhetoric that Trump was running once he lost 2020. The best thing is to do is considered quickly and quietly. And now she could focus her, because she was a prosecutor. So she had to go and look. In my humble opinion, this is my opinion here, okay? I'm not in their circle to see what's going on for me to say, but I'm assuming this is what's happening, knowing when you go back to some of my old videos, this is why I'm not getting any views, okay? Because I think I'm hitting the nails on the head every time. So if you go back to some of my old videos, everything can plug in together. That makes sense. So now she's putting her what was her role in California? Prosecutor, okay? Working with whoever, FBI, CIA, you name it, together to see how they could bring evidence to the public so the public can understand and accept. And then also, what we just went through, where she lost and now many of the voters are having buyer's remorse type of things, I think we needed to go through that because the lies were so much and many of them voted against their best interests. And it's very sad. It's very sad that they fall for it very quickly, because I'm reading different places where they had Holocaust survivors, how do they call them, where their great-grandparents were in the Holocaust, and they're voting for Trump. These kind of things. So there, as we move forward, if Kamala have won the first time, we will be dragging a lot of negativity with that win. In many different shape or form. We will be dragging people whose mind are not ready for that progress. They will be dragging us back we will be dragging people who still have so much hate. I mean, we're not gonna get 100% of people whose heart are pure, but the negativity, the hate that come out of nowhere from people will be dragging this with us. So that period of time right now, in my humble opinion, because nothing have been said yet as of November 14, 2024, it is exactly 1 a.m. right now as I'm talking. So many of these young people, especially, you thought they were very open-minded, futuristic, looking forward, but some of them, at least the ones that were cast, probably counted, you realize that they're not there yet. Where Kamala and Walt's administration wants to take us, many people are not there to go along with it. Okay, so this is what all of that means. So let's go to Twitter. There's something I responded to. I just want to focus on it. So for 2 people like it, was it 2 people who like that? No, 4 people like this one. Okay, so 2 people like this one, and this is the tweet here. Why does Trump look so much angrier than President Biden in their Oval Office meeting? And there's my response here. Biden knew of his little secret, the word all along. I guess I was trying to fit all the characters. I deleted it purposely because I can't fit anymore. Okay, Biden knew of his little secret all along. They were watching to see, 1, Donald J. Trump was going with it, meaning to see if he was gonna cheat. There's one video that I have. I read an article that warned the government of possibility of the 2024 election. Okay, so the government was waiting for that. I will not be surprised. The U.S. might go to war. Okay, because of this interference, because this is our sacred democracy. I will not be surprised if we get to the bottom of this, of what happened during the election. Okay, let's start all over. Biden knew of his little secret all along. They were watching to see if 1, Donald Trump was going with it. 2, who else were part of his little secret. He walked right into a trap. There's me laughing here. He can't go to Russia because Putin wants him to stay, meaning in the Oval Office, because this is his best asset right now. Okay, he's effed. Okay, he underestimated Biden-Harris administration. They knew. Okay, Biden, Kamala, everybody else, they knew what he was about to do. So he walked right into it, and I think right now it's evidence that they're gathering and probably trying to put it in a way where peanut brains can understand, simple-minded brains can understand, because many of the American people cannot understand complex issues, even if you put it in 3rd grade level for them to understand. Because once you tell them one thing, especially if Trump said some BS, they go along with it. So I think this is where we are now, in my humble opinion. The Biden-Harris administration are finding ways to gather their evidence, whatever they find during the election, they're gathering it and see how they could put it to the public. This is what I'm going with. Okay, I do not have a special crystal ball in front of me. I'm just going with evidence, with everything that I've seen throughout, and this is why my views are very low. You guys need to share some of my videos. And also, the way that, in my humble opinion, Putin went along with his thing, I mean, they're not afraid. It's just mind-boggling. When you look at, just go back to some of the rallies between Trump and Kamala. As we got closer to the election, we saw 2 different type of rallies. Kamala Harris is filling up stadium, and Trump can't even fill a school gym. So that should tell you one thing. And the other thing as well, these people are not embarrassed. They don't care. as long they have access to what they want, they'll go to the extreme. This is the thing I don't understand with them. That also happened in the UK too. When I talk about the UK sometimes, when you look at the, is it YouGov? When they're making their YouGov poll, they go to the extreme. You're like, what the hell? And when dictators claiming they are democracy, when they run for president, they go to the extreme. They almost 99.9%, everybody in the country for them. They always go to the extreme. And they did it again here. So many people, this is the thing that I sort of like. Two things. One, the collective feelings of majority of Americans. They just felt the same way. Things doesn't feel right. The way things are, it just doesn't feel right. And the other thing, those MAGA men, they all showing themselves. And the Trump administration, I don't know if he's running the administration. They're claiming people's getting certain position left and right. I don't know. Because yesterday, he was supposed to be in New York to be arraigned for whatever, his sentencing thing. I believe it was delayed because now he was seeing Biden at the White House, so he can be, his lawyers could speak with I don't know, okay? I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know all the procedures. So there's a lot going on right now. It is quiet, and I believe there's a video that I call the storm, calm before the storm. So this is the calmness, gathering information, well-minded people, civil servant who's been in the business for a very long time, who knows the Donald Trump type, like Kamala Harris said.
Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Okay, so they're gathering information to put it to the public. That's what I think, in my humble opinion. What else do I have here? Okay, so there's this one here. Okay, I'm gonna play it and there'll be screenshot. And I think I put it in one of my old videos before. And this is where Joe Rogan was saying something about Elon Musk, who knew of the result of the election 4 hours prior. Okay, speaking on his podcast, Rogan explained that Musk had developed a bespoke app on his phone which was able to give him precise numbers of votes ahead of time. Several hours before the network announced it. This can be because, let's listen. It's 1 minute and 31 seconds. There will be screenshot in between.
It was interesting because at the beginning of the night, no one knew what was going to happen. So you're watching the first results roll in, and there's like this weird thing. And then Trump gets way ahead, but you're like, you don't want to like get too hopeful. Like, how far ahead is he? He's ahead by 100 points. That seems like a lot.
Yeah, and you're like, what is it? And some channels are like, and then every channel's kind of different.
Yeah, they had different numbers. I was getting a different number off my Apple News update than I was getting off of CNN, and then I was texting people. Like Tulsi and J.D. Vance, I was getting a different apparently, Elon created an app, he knew who...
There's the part here, okay? This is the part here. 37 at the, 36 mark.
And he knew who won 4 hours before the results. So as the results were coming in, 4 hours before they called it, Dana White told me, Elon was like, I'm leaving, it's over, Donald won. He just fucking somehow or another.
I'm gonna go back into my pod and evaporate.
I don't know what he's getting, where he's pulling his data from, but he had like the most accurate data in terms of the rural states hadn't put the results in yet, but yet Trump was ahead in these states. Kamala's never gonna win those states, so tabulated that and like put it all together. I don't know how he did it. But Dana, I haven't even talked to Elon about this. I don't know like the Dana translation, but Dana said he had an app, and he was like showing him. He's like, it's over. And he fucking left. Dude just left.
It's over. John Jones won. Just saying that.
He just fucking left.
Dude.
Okay, so that's all. That's all. We are in a moment where I think the Biden-Harris administration they were just watching, and now they just have to go and gather they probably already had. And if some of you, my members, okay, you need to watch these videos, these 2 videos. I'll put the thumbnails of those 2 videos. They are related. I really want you guys to go watch it and let me know. This is something that I saw, and I try my best to interpret it. All right, so that's it. And now the next video that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through my likes and see what some tweets that I like throughout the day, and share with you. So all right, so let me pause this. Let me see. So this has to do with Justin Welby's the Archbishop who resigned. So I'll go the next video. I'll look into all of my likes. I do not have a list. Okay, I didn't make any list. So these are the things I'll be watching on the Twitter sometimes. All right, so see you on the next video. Thank you for watching, and please share and like, subscribe, and if you could become a member, I'll appreciate it, because there are videos I prefer put for my members, and the rest of the world would not understand where I'm coming from. There are videos, okay, I should have stopped now. There are videos, well, it's on PYTE, that I have, I never made public. I'm on PYTE now. One of those videos is Cyber Surprise. Many times I made reference to it. I did it in September 29, 2020. Never made it public, because some of the things that I was saying that was at the beginning of me being on YouTube. Some of the things that I was saying, many people will be too scared, or I don't know, but many of the things that I said in this video are coming true. So I don't know if I should make this public. And the other one that I never made public is this one. Okay, season 3, episode 40, the British royal family soap opera redo from PYTE. Okay, so I redid it. All right, so it was, when was that? February 9, 2022, which I redone because I think YouTube probably had given me some issues with it. So I redid it, but I never made it public. All right, I keep on pushing it back. November 30th, 2026. All right, that was as far back as I could go. I'm still contemplating if I should put it public. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Let me start the next video. Thank you for watching, and please share my videos, because YouTube is suppressing them.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness, and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.